wanna take. The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Stephen Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Stephen cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Stephen Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Stephen's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Stephen. My crew is, of course, all clones of Stephen. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Stephen's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Stephen Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Stephen mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Stephen. And through me, he will live again to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Stephen Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1. Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Zapata. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, online art teacher, and former instructor at Art Center College of Design. I would like to introduce you to my new drawing course, Form from Imagination, a course designed to help you draw with confidence from your mind. Maybe you want to be a professional illustrator or designer, maybe you want to be a master with a pencil, or maybe you just want to be the best artist that you can be. Beautiful goals, but it's not always clear how to improve the work that you do from imagination. Over the past 6 months, I've taken all of the little eurekas, tips, and essential exercises that gave me confidence drawing from my mind and compiled them into a sequential course. We start with the absolute foundations, covering the scientific nature of light and shadow, how to hatch, how to create flat tones, how to render spheres and cubes, and step by step, we move through combined shapes, complex shapes, organic shapes. We cover how to simplify extremely complex subjects like the head into basic shapes so that you can handle them more easily from your head. We look at how to understand and treat details. And by the end of these 14 chapters with over 50 video lessons, you'll be ready to do complex designs from your mind with fidelity and energy. And all the demos are done in pencil on paper, so you can do all of the assignments even if you don't have a fancy digital art setup. But I also have demos, instructions, and modifications to the assignments for those who do want to do them digitally. Here's how it works. Go to formfromimagination.com and sign up for the course. Download the assignment book and start watching the lectures. Do the assignments at your own pace. Take your time with them and use this self-study to develop your patience. When you're done, post your assignments in the exclusive community hub, and I'll personally critique your work with drawovers, diagrams, and advice. I want you to know, this course is no joke just because it's online. It is challenging content, and it is more complete than it would be if I was teaching this class at an art college as I have before. If I was teaching this class in person at Art Center today, I would just play these videos in class, knowing full well that they're the most concise, focused, edited, step-by-step way to convey the material. So I'm serious when I say, this course isn't just a substitute for a college-level course, it's better than a college-level course. And you don't have to pay thousands of dollars per credit and wind up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So thank you for checking out the course, thank you for watching this and for your support, and thank you for drawing and making your artwork. The world needs it. I'll see you soon. Dear friends, happy Halloween. I'm sending you much Halloween love on this glorious Halloween day. Get haunted, get attacked by spirits, ghosts, get abducted by aliens, perhaps gaze at the moon until you lose your senses and go through a period of lycanthropy. Do whatever it takes, If you need to become a vampire, go ahead and become a vampire. Now's a very good time to do it. If you're looking for your opportunity to become a vampire, do it right now. Become a vampire. Become a vampire. You can also feel free to have something burst from your chest or lose your sanity as you contemplate an eldritch being. Now would also be a good time to do that, to lose your sanity contemplating an eldritch being. Really, whatever kind of spooky thing you have in mind. You want to curse someone, maybe use some sigils to summon upon you a familiar that will guide you to gates of darkness for the rest of your days. Anything like that, this is a perfect time to do so. So if you have anything like that on the to-do list, anything like contemplating an eldritch being until you gain insight and lose your sanity, now would be an excellent time. You could do it on stream. You can feel free to update people on stream as you do that. And just be glad, be happy that it's the spookiest of all holidays. Hello to Mouseich, Mr. Ballslapper 2000, Rappi, Sabina Hannas, Aisha W, Evolved Being, Vega, Mihail Simeonov, Neutral Darkness, Bread, Pirate, the Pirate of Bread, Wander Rucksack, Sato, Jan Tamba, Vega, FroPL 36, R, Jaya, Sen, Terrorist Win, Seth Hat, and everybody else who I've missed. We got Arson in here. We got Satan, the one and only Morning Star, the Lord of Darkness, Satan. Seest thou yon dreary plain, seat of desolation, forlorn and wild. We got Tristan Ho, we got Zane Artist, and Alfie Marshall. Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween, everyone. We're going to draw some aliens because they are my #1 childhood fear, baby. And they're fun to draw, and they can look like anything. They could be by turns creepy and cool. So we're going to draw some aliens. I'm probably, I'm more just like a fun sci-fi game art kind of a vibe lately, so I'll probably do them in that capacity rather than a folksy like gray capacity. In preparation for this, I did look at the last time I drew some grays, some good old-fashioned real Oligens. That was the last time. That was when I hosted the Proco challenge. I did this piece as the promo image. This one is called Inner Contact. That was the last time I did some spooky grays. These were fun to do. A lot of fun to draw those. I tried to make each one slightly different. So they have, some have little insectoid cut lines on their face. Their eyes protrude at different sizes, scales, and angles from their heads. Some have more prominent noses. Some just have slits. Some have multiple eyes. Some have little extra features like this. I like this one that I tried to give the barn owl look to. Some have no nose at all, no slits, nothing. It was fun trying to make each one slightly different instead of just repeating the same thing over and over again. Happy Halloween to me? To me? Happy Halloween? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Nice outfit. Thank you. Well, you got to get in the spirit of things, right? It's Halloween. I know Halloween falls on a Monday. Hope if you did something for Halloween, you had a good time. I was away. No costumes. Well, I'm in costume now, but before that, no weekend Halloween activities. I was away out of town, peeping leaves in New York before all the leaves fall off the trees. There was no need to do that while dressed as a zombie or vampire or anything of the sort. Beautiful up there in upstate New York. The greens, the yellows, the reds, the oranges, all the leaf color is very beautiful. Woo! I like being in costume, but I'll tell you what, this is a hot one. This is a very warm costume. It's a good thing it has these armpit vents because it's a doublet. I can sweat it out a little bit. Oh, you know what? Let's put on a little spooky Halloween music so that we can vibe out while we work. That's it's a bit much. I'll see what I can find for us. Put my music options down there. Put this over here. Put that over there. Chat over here. Zapata fulfilling his papal commission drawing grays for the Vatican. You'd know it. Oh, and I saw that Fish Flops with the big SGD 10 donation. Thank you so much. He says, Fish Flop says, more Gaffy. I appreciate the Gaffy. And I'm going to get Gaffy. Fish Flops. I'm going to turn your donation into pure, sweet, life-affirming Gaffy. We're going to get it. And I'm going to send you a photograph of it right to your phone. Right to your phone, a photograph of me drinking the Gaffy with your... When they ask my name, they're going to say, who's this for? I'm going to say it's for Fish Flops. They're going to say, so what? And I say, Fish Flops? And be like, that's your name? And be like, yeah. That way the cup says Fish Flops. And if they got a problem with it, they can figure it out. Aliens always terrified me as a kid. My parents let me watch Alien when I was way too young. Yeah, they were my childhood fear. And I think the main reason for that was that, like, alien abduction stuff and gray stuff and things like that is... presented as being true, you know, very, or at least being questionable. Like witches, monsters, things like that. I was never afraid of those things as a kid because there was no one positing that those things were realistically true in any sense. But they'd run UFO stuff on Unsolved Mysteries right next to murders and things like that, saying that they might be true and interviewing people, or they'd show up on the news and things like that. So they had a different quality to me than other spooky stuff did. And I think that that's why they really ruined my life as a kid. Whoops, save this. Sketchbook and Ollie Jens number 9071. Yeah, the old mysterious mysteries or whatever shows talking about abductions and the Men in Black. I lived out in the middle of nowhere. The bright night sky gets creepy. Yeah, it was easy for it to get in there. Very easy for it to invade. I was horrified of being abducted as a kid. It's like you never knew when it was going to happen. Just swoop down from the sky. It reeked of science and knowledge of the universe and statistics and existential questions. Because when I was a kid, I never thought anything else was real, you know? When I was a kid, I never believed in like Nessie or Sasquatch or any of that stuff. Witches, monsters. I never realistically thought that stuff was real, ever. I just thought they were cool, but aliens were, yeah, they were different because people were out there saying they were real. And I really made this mistake of like getting into books written by UFO people. I read a bunch of those when I was a kid. I would pick them up at Barnes & Noble by the armful and read them in the cafe. And those are all just written completely straight. Like, this is definitely real. And that just was not good. Not good. By the way, watch some of your old videos. Got me back into my meditation practice, Steven. Thank you. Oh, Lifu. It's an honor. I'm very happy to hear that. That's really, what more could I hope for? I'm very happy for you, Lifu. You know, there's few things more beneficial for an artist in this day and age than to take time to contemplate. Take just a little bit of time, make it a habit to sit and ask yourself, what the heck am I feeling? What the heck am I doing? What is actually happening here? I'm very, very happy to contribute to that, to have pushed you back in that direction. War of the Worlds traumatized me, to be honest, the film with Tom Cruise. That was a good one. I read an adapted illustrated version of War of the Worlds when I was a kid, and I remember really liking that book. I didn't think it was true. You know, I was like, well, if they're not grays, it ain't real. But I remember really liking that book. Do you listen to metal, Steven? Some metal. Not like, I'm not really like a dedicated fan of any genre of music, I would say. You know, I bump into songs that I like, I listen to them, add them to the running playlist. Do you think aliens exist? I'm one of those people who personally thinks it's, very almost guaranteed based on statistics that there's life elsewhere in the universe. But it depends what you mean by aliens. If you mean like grays or something like the stuff I'm drawing, something that's vaguely humanoid and we can sort of relate to in some sense, I have no real idea. I have no idea. I don't know what I think about that. I really do not like this Halloween music. Favorite planet? Jupiter. It's just, you can't beat the aesthetic, man. Definitely my favorite planet. The color harmonies, the bands, the geometric shapes, unbeatable. Jupiter takes the cake for sure. I'm assuming, of course, that we're excluding Earth, which should be everybody's favorite. Earth has done a few good things for all of us. Renola says, last day of the month, 31 days, and I completed 31 portraits of my son for his birthday. It was fun, but I'm glad that it is done. Wow, you really knocked it out. Good job, Renola. That is no small task. That is not a light lift. That's a lot of work. Good job, Renola. Cheese says, Mr. Steven, I won the Halloween costume contest at school today. Happy Halloween. Aw, Cheese. So happy for you. That's great. Congratulations. You really did it, man. You deserve it. I don't know what your costume was, but you deserve it. Anyone who wins a Halloween costume contest automatically deserves it. I've won one in my life. I've come in second place and third place a few times for things, but there was one that I won outright, and that was at work, back when I worked in theme parks in Los Angeles. Me and 3 other people, including my wife, actually, we were working there at the same time. At the time, we did a Mario Kart, and we won with that. I was. What was I? I was Yoshi. I was Yoshi, she was Luigi, and the other 2 were Mario and Bowser. And we made go-karts, and we had balloons and stuff like that, and we raced around the office. It was a lot of fun. We threw banana peels at each other. You know, you gotta, if you wanna win in a creative environment like a theme park company, there's got to be a performative aspect, or if it's never going to work. You can't just sit there in costume. You got to pick a time, you got to do a bit. And we did. We interrupted the whole workday to drive around on our little go-karts and beat each other with with banana peels and throw turtle shells at each other. Could you give us your best Yoshi impression? Yeah, how's it go? Mario, ride me! Mario, leap up on my back and ride me! Badang, badang! Mario, let us slay those Goomba fools! They've done too much against I and my people. Mario, ride me! Leap on my back, Mario! I will breathe fire and tongue them! That's Yoshi, right? Close enough, says Nick Raphael. Joe says, highly triggered by the use of the word Goomba in the stream. You're all reported. I got more words for you, Joe. Oh, I got words for you. Kaizaras says, thoughts on the viability of artists joining together to sway politicians passing legislation which ban AI models based on copyrighted materials. The viability, all right, well, on the viability of winning, I am not a lawyer. I do think it must see its day in court and that it does need to be worked out. And the viability of that happening, of people joining together, you know, our artists are not, there's every kind of artist out there, right? So when we say artists, it's like, what crew are we bringing close to our chest? But within a narrow sense, like the first people who are going to be affected by this, I think the viability of them joining together and doing something, talking to politicians, attempting legislation, is extremely high. That's what I would say. Extremely high. Theodora Kapat, how are you? She says, you should quit art and become a voice actor. God help us all. I'd be that voice actor that you encounter in any show or game. There's always that one voice actor where it kind of takes you out of it and you're like, really reaching there, huh, bud? You know, that'd be me. I'd be the one who always takes you out of it. Hub says, I love this gray alien. Stephen, by the way, are you truly scared of them? Yeah, I am. Well, I'm not scared of them now, but they were my childhood fear. That's what I mean when I say because I'm afraid of them. They are my #1 childhood fear. They were what really freaked me out as a kid. And I'm glad you like it. Always fun to draw an alien. Let me get my dang canvas exactly the size of my monitor here. Ride me. Together, headlong towards death we go, Mario. Ride me. Leap on my red and white saddle and ride me. Forget Luigi, we don't need him. It's just you and me, Mario. I love you, Mario. Headlong towards death. Onto the battlefield. Let us hear the cry of our enemy. Let Bowser and his kin lay bleeding before us. Ride me, Mario. No one has ever made me feel more alive, more needed. Ride me, Mario. You paint a very Frazetta-esque picture of Mario and Yoshi. Someone get to work on that. I'm sure that exists. Someone's got to have that picture made. Let's look for a different head here. Let's do another thin body type. Maybe let's get the eyes way out there. Maybe let's do forearms. Pew, pew, pew. I like shorthanding sci-fi guns with the classic 1950s mid-century modern laser gun. Peter C. scared me with a hand behind you. Guys, stop it. You're freaking me out. Don't do that. Theodora Kappa with the 60 SEK donation. Here's a beer for you, and thanks for the Mario ride me. Need to head off and need to get used to when you do the live streams. Thank you so much, Theodora. I hope Mario ride me gets stuck in your head for the rest of the day. And thank you so much for the donation. You're incredibly kind, and you're a great artist, and we appreciate you around here. Thank you so much. Yeah, live streams are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays usually, and usually around this time. I usually do them in the morning. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you so much for the donation. You truly honor me. You truly, truly honor me. Thank you so much. And I hope that out there, somewhere, you can find the Mario to your Yoshi. Or the Yoshi to your Mario. Whatever feels more fitting to you. Stop it, Nick, stop it. Nick says, look out, there's an AI image generator right behind you. No, don't, guys, I won't be able to sleep tonight, all right? Stop telling me that DALL-E is sneaking up behind me, all right? I don't need that. I don't need that in my head right now. I don't need that in my heart. Some things are too scary even for Halloween, and we can't mess with them. Ciao Mario. Ciao Theodora. Andrew says, this is an amazing stream. I will have to rewatch the recording later. They stay up. I just leave them all up. May the streams be of good service to you all. He looks sad. Wizened sage gray alien with the glaive and laser guns. Stephen, have you ever read Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke? The aliens in that book are really cool, and how they appear similar to the Judeo-Christian interpretation of demons/Satan. Seems right up your alley. I have not, but I will keep that in mind. That does sound cool. I think the only Arthur C. Clarke story I've read is, what's it called? I want to say it was called The Light from Other Days. I think that's an Arthur C. Clarke, right? I read that years and years ago. Lameworks with the £9 sterling donation. Thank you so much, Lameworks. Hello, Stephen. I just wanted to thank you again. I've been burnt out to the nub for a month now, and I've managed that by loosening up, trying to be creative, drawing in public, and trying to have fun. Oh, I'm so glad, Lameworks. Thank you so much for the donation. And I'm very glad that you're fighting that burnout. You know, burnout's a dastardly thing, and it's unfortunately quite easy to have happen with art. So I'm sorry to hear that you got there, but I'm very happy to hear that you have found ways to fight against it. Take care of yourself. Rest up. Nobody wants you burnt out. You don't want to be burnt out. Don't put undue demands on yourself. But yeah, being creative, focusing on fun, drawing with friends / in public, great ways to fight the burnout. I'm very happy for you, Lameworks. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. You got to be creative, you know. You can't let your desire to draw, that is to say your desire to be creative, get enslaved to all of these non-creative incentives that the world is rife with. You know, we spend too much time thinking about career moves. How the heck am I going to make money with all this stuff? It's like, there's a time and a place to think of all of those things, and they're necessary for most artists. Or maybe not necessary, but there's something that almost all artists are going to contend with at one point. But you can't let that become everything in the practice. You've got to remember why you're doing this. At a certain point, you must simply draw, as the child did. How do I want to do this? Just restructuring the silhouette here. This alien looks really sad. It can't be easy being an alien. It can't be. Everybody's always like, no, don't stick the probe up my butt. And it's like, oh, but I wanna. Oh, but I wanna. It's like, no, don't. It's like, but science. What about science? Nobody understands how hard it is to be an alien. Whoa, Selena with 20 huge dollars. Oh my God, that's beer and coffee. and a nice place, at a nice joint. Hi, Steven. I'm a tattoo artist whose career started in a world of algorithms. I'm beginning the journey of falling in love with art again, as opposed to a follower count. You were my catalyst. Thank you for everything. Selena, you honor me, truly. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm going to turn that into life-giving caffeine and alcohol, possibly. And I really appreciate that I've been able to contribute to your journey in any amount that I have. Yeah, I feel like I was lucky that I got into art right before the algorithms became a thing. So even though I was very young, even though I was in a gestational period, I do have a vague memory, an autobiographical fact that shows that there was a time without them. And I remember what that was like. I remember what it was like to just be in a, even when you were posting online, it was just who posted most recently, you know, online forums and things like that. And there was no algorithm pushing them. It was just eyeballs and the time of post. So it must be hard. You know, I sympathize greatly. These algorithms, they really do a lot to us. But you're on the right track. Fall in love with your art. Fall in love with the process of making. That's the most robust thing. That will work anywhere. That will work through all permutations, all changes, all transformations, all technological advancements, all zeitgeist shifts, all earthquakes of technology, of progress, of change, of everything. The love for your art is always the ballast that you want in your balloon, so you're doing the right thing, Selena. Keep it up. And it'll make you never want to give up. You know, drawing is my oldest friend. Things happen, markets change, the world shifts. We can't control those things, not in any ultimate sense. But I never want to give up because drawing is something I am in relationship with. It's a friend I don't want to give up on. And I love my friend, I really do. Steven, would you rather spend the night at a cemetery or a haunted house? Haunted house, I guess. Because it's like, is it raining? You know? I can't be being exposed to the elements. At least in the haunted house, I'm dry. Aisha W with the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the donations, everybody. I mean, you're flattering me here. This is very kind. I appreciate it. You didn't need to do that, but I love that you did. I appreciate the contributions. Thank you so much. Aisha W says, gotta go, but love the aliens. Thank you so much, Aisha. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you like the aliens. Wherever you go, I send you many blessings. And I'm giving you the perfect ward of alien abduction protection right now. It's just for Aisha. Everybody else, you're still on the hook. You're still in trouble. All right? You're still in trouble. At any moment, you could be abducted, but not Aisha. This is a perfect ward of alien abduction protection for Aisha W. As long as this ward is in effect, which it will be permanently effect, any UFO cannot enter within 50,000 feet of not just Aisha's body, but the airspace directly above her. It can't use its tractar beam, it can't use its plasma beam, and it can't use its hypnotization beam. Hypnotization, word, an actual word. Aisha is completely protected from all abductions and any sorts of scientific experiments that might be conducted before, during, or after the abduction, including but not limited to probings and excavations of her most secret places, implantation of hybrid alien babies, brainwashing and memory insertion. All of those things completely warded against, completely warded against. Thank you so much for the donation, Aisha. I need this glaive taller. It can't be short like this. It ruins the proportions of the design. That shirt is dope. Is it a tunic? It is a doublet. You can see that the sleeves are tied on with ties. So I could theoretically take the sleeves off, but the sleeves being attached like that, I believe, is what makes it a doublet. But don't quote me on that. And I have a linen undershirt in the medieval fashion underneath. You can see it's real overlong and all that. Hello, Lucas Suarez. How are you? What if I want to be abducted? You ever think of that? Well, you know, you're free to dispel the ward if you needed to, but you don't have the ward anyway. So you're good. You don't have to worry about it. I don't know. I think the aliens go for people who don't want to be abducted, personally. So yeah, I was horrified of aliens, grays, UFOs, the whole American folk of abduction stories when I was a kid. The movie that I found the most upsetting came out later, but thank God this movie wasn't out when I was a kid, but The Fourth Kind with Mila Djokovic. That movie, I forget who the director is, but that movie was made by a bad person. That movie was made to ruin the lives of people who are pathologically afraid of being abducted by aliens, because that movie systematically goes point for all of the common superstitions that people who are afraid of being abducted by aliens have to protect them. Like, as long as there's another person in the house, or I'm sleeping with another person, or as long as I don't think about them, and things like that. He goes point by point in that movie and like gives some reason. They're like, no, they're totally still gonna abduct you. An evil person made that movie. Horrible. Thank God I never saw that as a kid, or else I would have thought I was never safe. I would have had a complete meltdown. Emma Blomsog, how are you? Good to see you. Bye, Emma. Thanks for dropping by. Oof, that movie terrified me and I wasn't even scared of the concept of aliens. Yeah, no good. Like I said, I'm glad that came out later when I was already over the fear. But I remember watching it and being like, you gotta be kidding me. This is ruining some kid's life out there. Happy Halloween from ASEM. Happy Halloween to you too, ASEM. Glad you liked the outfit. I've gotten a lot of mileage out of this Renaissance doublet, I'll tell you what. It was expensive, but I've gotten enough use out of it that it certainly paid for itself. Actually, that's not true, because the cheap Halloween costume is what, like 10 bucks? So I think we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there. So good to catch these streams more often. I'm around. We're hanging out, we're doing streams, we're talking about aliens, we're talking about robots. We're talking about art sometimes. Mostly we talk about aliens. We certainly draw aliens. It's like, how much do I need to talk about art when it's like, I'm doing art, you're watching it happen. Am I right? Nobody agrees. It's just me. It's just me. I was ruined by The Thing from Carpenter. Oh man, I love The Thing. I just watched The Fly for the first time. The one with Jeff Goldblum. I watched that last night with my wife. That was yeah. I think my conclusion was gross. That's my review. But it was a good Halloween watch. One that I've been meaning to see for a long time. The Thing, though, not gross, just cool. I think The Thing is just an amazing movie. I have to admit, I did not think The Fly was an amazing film. I got to think about it. That's where I land right now. Maybe it's just influenced so many other things that I'm looking at it that way. But for example, I think The Thing is like a really good movie. It's a really good film. Even if you're not into the genre, I would argue. I'm glad I saw it. It was interesting. But I'm not sure I really liked it. The Happy Cynic says, any thoughts on taking your arguments against image AIs to Capitol Hill? We'll see. I mean, it's a crazy time. Everybody's attention is getting on it. Things are moving fast. Things are moving fast, and organizing takes time. Steven, I don't know what to draw. I have lots of ideas, but don't know which one is worth the time or can be monetized. Any tips? You just got to do them. I mean, ideas are great and all, but as time goes on, you will see that if you don't realize them, if you don't turn them into something, they're not really worth anything. You know, there's very few ideas so good that just the thought of them or speaking them is good enough, and that will energize people. It's like unrealized ideas basically are worth nothing. You've got to make it. So get to work. And the truth is that it's like if you felt that one was, here's the thing about art. If you did find that you came to think of an idea as being highly monetizable, or that this is the one that is worth doing, that's just a story that you're telling yourself about the idea until you realize it. And then when you make it real, you will often find out that you were completely wrong. You know, the world is so complicated, markets are so complicated, audiences are so complicated that you can't quite know for sure what's going to work and what isn't. So don't worry so much about what you think the idea is. Focus on what gets your attention, what energizes you, and start rapidly going through them and making them as much as you can. Because you'll find that the ones that you think are a lot of the ones that you think are the least monetizable, or the ones that people will like the least, often those are people's favorites. And the ones that you think are easy pickings, like low-hanging fruit, like people are gonna love this, people completely just ignore it. It's like you can't know. You gotta put out there. You guys probably can't even hear the music, and it's bothering me, so I'm going to turn it off. It was good for a minute there, and then it got too carnival-y. Yeah, I saw that news about the House of Lords talking to the robot. Yeah, maybe we talk to artists instead of the non-sentient machine with the horrifying mask facade that is not advocating for itself, but is instead advocating for the interests of the people who own it. Maybe we don't talk to that. Can we keep it serious for a little bit, please? Here at the beginning of the end. There'll be plenty of time to marvel at the abject absurdity that we've birthed later. Plenty of time for that. Hi, Steven. Do you play horror games? Sometimes. Definitely had a lot of love for Resident Evil 4 back when I was a kid. What other horror games have I played? Man, it's been a bit now that I think about it. Maybe I don't play horror games. I got nothing against them. I think they're rather cool. They're just not usually what I run out and buy to play, I guess. Bloodborne is a horror game? Yeah, if we count Bloodborne. But I'm not sure everybody would count Bloodborne. On that note, what is your favorite game? Probably Bloodborne. Probably Bloodborne. I don't think I've ever played any other game as much, and I probably had my best first playthrough experience with a game with Bloodborne. It's a weird little design. Strange little gray. All right, we did 2 skinny ones. Let's do a thick boy. Let's do a muscular one. That should make it not even read like a gray, probably. Does anyone have any context for what Steven is wearing? It's my medieval doublet. It's Halloween. You gotta be in costume. I wish I had an alien costume. I also finished watching The Bear last night. I liked The Bear. It was good. Any show that's just people doing their jobs is always easy to get into. I need more room over here. Give me more room. Probably asked before, but what do you think about The Lighthouse by Robert Eggers? I liked it. That'll probably wind up being a modern classic, huh? The Witch is probably my favorite, one of my favorite movies, and definitely my favorite horror movie. I should rewatch The Witch today in honor of Halloween. Trying to get something vaguely unearthly going on with the anatomy. Even if we're looking for the classic read of big muscular shapes, can we get a weird waving or just some sort of off silhouette to it to make it feel vaguely alien, even if it's totally human anatomy, basically. Just some unusual configurations. Ooh, I like that, actually. I do like that. I'll have to use that somewhere else in a more involved drawing. I like that the pecs sort of shrink as they move from the clavicular portion down to the sternal and abdominal portions. That's a pretty cool design element there, actually. Like the nipple would be down here. And what would be here? This would all be gap or like some sort of exaggerated serratus area. That could be pretty cool. What's your favorite visualization of aliens? Giger's Alien, I would say. I think that, for me personally, I think that's like the most beautiful design. How to put it? Like, that's the most beautiful design that has human intent for me. There's others that are like fulfill other criteria better. Like there's alien designs I like better for unearthliness, like being truly alien. Not to spoil anything, but some of the stuff that gets shown in Annihilation, for example. I think that if that's what you're looking for in an alien design, I think I really like that. I thought that was very successful. But for something with human intent behind it, trying to, how to say it, like instead of just taking something utterly natural and sort of using that as the basis, trying to human your way to an alien design, I don't think anyone did it better than Giger did. That's my favorite. I have not seen Nope yet, but it's on the list. Is Nope on Netflix right now? If Nope is on Netflix right now, maybe I'll watch that tonight with my wife. Let's do some sort of weird configuration to the hands, maybe 2 thumbs or something like that. If you're going to do a weird hand design and you ball one up, it's always a good idea to open up the other one so that this one sort of explains the hand design, because this one, you know, can feel like a fist or like a closed one, but it doesn't really communicate to the viewer quickly what the design choices there actually are. Just resizing that so it feels like it'd be basically the size of the other one on the other side. How was your process to study hands, Stephen? Oh, like most people, a bit of a crash course introduction to the anatomy is very helpful up front, just so that you kind of know what you're looking at. And then it was volume, volume, volume. Just drawing many, many, many hands. It's very important to also keep your eye on the prize for what you actually want out of something like hands. Like, I've always known that I want, out of everything that I do, I want the ability to twist it and transmogrify it and do it in some sort of imaginative way. So I always made time to do pushed hands like this, to do weird things to them. And that actually taught me a lot about what makes a hand, because I was breaking them all the time. And when you break them, you get an intuitive sense for what can flex and what can't. So I did a lot of master studies of hands, I did a lot of life drawings of hands. Well, you know, you're in life drawing, you're drawing everything in life drawing, but just a huge amount of doing them at life drawing, doing them from photos, doing some master studies. But like I said, the other big thing was that I spent a lot of time just drawing them out of my head in my sketchbook. And yes, the majority of that looked like absolute unrepentant shit. And you just need to be okay with that. You need to be very okay with that. Pretty weird. I like that. It's not the most graceful design or anything, but I at least like that it's different. I like that it's strange. Just started drawing as a beginner. Any tips for me? Yeah, draw, Antonio, draw and don't waste time. In all seriousness, my #1 tip for beginners is do not get completely absorbed doing skill-based stuff. You must keep attempting the things that you want to be making. Like if you want to be doing characters, you must always be drawing characters. Don't disappear into sphere and cube land completely. You will probably still need to go there, depending on your goals, but it's never a good idea to do only that. You need to remain in constant contact with the actual practical form of creativity that you wish to engage in. And then what upsets people about that is that it will not look good while they do that. I don't know what else to tell you. It doesn't matter that it doesn't look good. You have to keep doing it. It's like, of course it doesn't look good. You're a beginner. Everyone needs to start somewhere. Accept that it doesn't look good and keep trying it. You're not going to sphere and cube your way to the finish line. You know, there are milestones along the way, but you need to keep attempting the things that you actually like doing. Take it from someone who has done a lot of spheres and cubes. Any tips on how to improve clean art, line art? Oof, sorry. I don't really do clean line art, so I'm not a great person to give tips on that. From the bit of it that I've done, just do more layers, more passes. And people tend to assume when they think of using layers to get line art that it's supposed to be 2 layers. Think 3 or 4 or more. I think that there's no more bang for your clean line art buck than just doing a new layer over top. It's way faster than trying to clean up problems with lines. It's faster and it gives you exponentially better results than trying to clean up erroneous lines. I'm late to the party. How's things going? Everything's all right. John D. Harvey. Everything's all right. And you're not so late. What would you put in each of the 3 to 4 layers of line art? It's usually like it's like the first layer is something like stick figures almost. It doesn't have to be, but it's like just the raw placement. Is this person to the left of this person or to the right of this person? But then the other progressive layers feel much more like just regular drawing. It just feels like the drawing process. It's just each layer brings you to a quicker, it brings you more quickly to the refined finish that you might be looking for. Like if you just nail all the lines on the 4th layer because you've given yourself exactly the placements of everything, in a not exact, but in a gross sense, you'll be able to get a clean result in a couple hours that it would otherwise take you like 20 hours to erase your way to. How do you make anatomy gestural? Whenever I add muscles, my figures look really stiff. You just need to insist on adding the curves and the energy every time on every layer. That's all. There's no magic to it. It's just like, if something has stiffened up on you, it's always because it stopped curving. That's it. So you just need to police your curves. You've always got to add more and more. It does require some control because, you know, you need to have enough control over your medium to be comfortable throwing something like a bicep with curves and things like that. But it's not actually super complicated or anything like that. Problems besides that will come down to lack of understanding of anatomy knowledge. Like where you can use a tendon to transition from one muscle into the other and things like that. But the nuts and bolts of it is just, if it got boring, if it got stiff, it's just not curving enough. You got to hunt for curves. Steven, let's draw all day for a 20-hour stream. Ay, ay, ay. That'd be a long time. Destiny wants to chat with Steven. Destiny said he'd be interested in talking with Steven about AI art. Destiny just did a cover of his AI video. I do not know who Destiny is, but maybe I'll have to check that out. Let me put that on my... Artro says, Steven Zapata, would you be interested in talking with a streamer by the name of Destiny about AI art? He expressed interest in possibly having a discussion with you about it on his stream. I mean, if you know him, tell him to drop me a line. My email's around. I'll have to check out his cover of my video. Let me put it on my to-do list. Destiny, actually no, let me put it on this to-do list, my phone to-do list. Destiny AI cover video. You got a link to the cover? Curious. Oh, you're asking them, I see. Destiny is a political streamer. Interesting. I can drop you a link to his VOD where he watched your thing. Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to watch it on stream, so my email is in the description of the video. You can email me the link there. That way I'll just have it when I sit down to look at it later. But you can post it here too. Actually, I'm not sure if you'll be able to post a link based on the current mod settings, but... Hi, Stephen. Which settings do you use to record your pencil drawing processes? Do you use a digital camera? Yes, I use the Lumix GH5 to record the pencil drawings. I usually record and post them at 4K. Lumix GH5 is a great camera. You might want to check out the, if you're in the market for something like that, you might want to check out the GH6, which is an update to it. Woo, I really got to use the restroom, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to play a longer one here because it's going to take me a minute with this outfit. Come in. Oh, hello, Joseph.
is it? Hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you drew this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination. Boop 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 ba-doo, ba-doo ba-doo-doo, boo-doo, ba-doo boo-doo, boop boop. All right. What a lovely, peaceful Halloween. I'm glad that we've all had a chance to draw together here today on Halloween, on All Hallows Eve. Me watching this better not awaken anything in me. I think you're about to get awakened, Sam. I think pretty soon you'll be going to bed nightly, dreaming of abduction. I love what you are wearing upon this day. Well, it seemed only appropriate. You have to get in the spirit. I wasn't going to let Halloween go by uncelebrated, even if it landed on a Monday. Even if I had no party plans. Alien Zaddy vibes, for real. Do you ever get criticized now that you made it? What? Made what? Like made it as an artist? Like as a professional artist? Like have a professional art career? For the record, there's no, for very few of us is there a making it in art. It never gets easy for the most part. You always need to do a ton of work to keep your career going, to keep your work out there to make more work. It's I think the phrase like making it is it doesn't really align with most people's experience of having an art career. Criticized, there's very little criticism in art in general. The harder thing in art is getting people to care at all. People are more inclined to completely ignore your work or forget about it than they are to criticize it. So I receive almost no criticism. I think most artists don't. We instead toil away in mediocrity and people just not caring how bad or good we are in general. That phrase "make it," like made it. I don't feel like I made it. I just, I have been building up momentum for my career for the past 16 years. And I'm just, where I'm at today is just the result of consistent, focused effort, basically unbroken, consistent, focused effort over the past 16 or so years. So it's like, if I made it, I missed the day it happened. It's all been being built up incrementally in slow steps. And I don't feel like I'm done by any means, It's clear to me how much work remains to be done, how much effort I will need to put in to continue to have my art career. Is this Photoshop? I can tell. Yes, it is. It is indeed Photoshops. Ah, yes. The legendary Photoshop. What's wrong with you, dog? What are you pacing around for? Yes, I know. You want to come say hi? Come here. Ugh. Say hello, Fanny Pup. What do you think? What do you think about these screens and OBS and the microphones? What do you think about being a little pup? What do you think about, instead of getting what you wanted at your 12 o'clock on the dot stretch, which is your favorite lunchtime cookie, you got picked up, now you're getting scritched and broadcasted. What do you think about that? I know. It's so hard to be a little dog on Halloween. Because this little dog hates wearing clothes. She hates it. If she puts clothes on, she sits perfectly still for hours. Her adorable little witch costume is torture to her. Nobody knows. Nobody understands how hard it is to be a little dog. Alright, get out of here. Hold on, I gotta give her cookie. Go on. Knock yourself out. The funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whomsoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. I just want to remind you guys that that is in the middle of one of the most successful songs ever made. If mommy ever told you that you can't make it in this world drawing creepy goblins, just play Thriller for her. Just sit your mom down, put the tuning arm of the record player onto the Thriller 25-year anniversary edition vinyl, and just play her Thriller from start to finish. And then when it's done, look your mother right in the eyes and say, "You tell me again that the world doesn't love spooky Halloween shit." Because one of the most successful songs of all time literally has the lyric, "Grisly ghouls from every tomb," in it. In it. Mom. Your mom, not my mom. Mom. Steven, have you ever thought of writing? People might buy whatever. I want to write something just to do the audiobook for it. I don't really have a super big... When I think of like doing a project, my interest is in making the drawings, you know, but I want to write something just to do the audiobook for it because I like doing readings. I like making audio files. I like doing the voices. I like performing. Yeah, my dog, I'm covered in dog hair now. Completely covered in dog hair. Michael Schlater says, dancing zombies. I remember the hype back in the day. Longest video back then and banned in TV on Germany. I believe it. EMRE says, do you usually mix with the smudge tool like that, even with color? For me, the smudge just kind of moves things around instead of diffusing like yours. Not usually with color. I find if I try to smudge color stuff with this tool, I don't like the result. I do it a lot when I'm doing this kind of black and white digital stuff though. It just comes naturally because I smudge a lot when I draw in pencil. So it makes them feel kind of analogous, the two different ways of drawing. If you want to try to, if you get that feeling where like it just kind of moves things around, try to set your brush to scatter. The brush that you use to do the smudging, set it to scatter. That's what gives the result that I'm using here. So I'm using a brush that you can see it's stamped there. It's like all these little flecks. I'll show you what it looks like as a brush. The brush itself is all these little flecks, but the trick for the smudge tool is to, in the brush dynamics, go to scattering and turn the scatter up. That way it kind of spreads pixels around and shoots them around when you use them as a smudge tool. But yeah, like you said, when I'm doing color, this does not work for me. I can never quite make it look nice. I just got to do this stuff by hand with the airbrush when I'm doing involved color stuff. The airbrush gets the same result. It's just this way I can just beat up my lines while I do it. Is this what transformative anatomy is? Well, that's what I think of it as. When you transform anatomy, you've got to have a lot of principles in mind of what different proportions mean for anatomical reads. Like what makes something read as skinny? What makes something read as muscular? What is the nature of the positive and negative shapes that produces that impression in the eye of the viewer? What makes something feel more massy? What makes something feel more defined? There's all sorts of stuff there. Value breakups, ways of using compression, how to manage your details. Are you putting more details, less details, things like that. Amazing work. Thank you so much, Pepe. What software are you using? This is Photoshop. Classic. Good old Photoshop. Been using it since I was about 13 years old. Can't get off it. If you're new to digital art, I think I would recommend Clip Studio Paint. I think Clip Studio Paint is probably the better program for art these days. But I keep coming back to Photoshop just because like I said, I've been using it since I was a kid, so I'm super, super used to it. But I've used Clip a lot, and I have to admit, I think Clip is probably better. Ooh, Crow ME with the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Thanks for your YouTube videos. Many of them have changed my psychology while I am drawing or think about art. I have a renewed interest in my art. Yes. Yes, yeah. That's what it's all about. Yes. Change that psychology. Feeling good while you're making art. That's what matters. Thank you so much, Crow ME. Thank you so much for the $5. I'm going to turn it into coffee. That's what I do. You give me a donation like that, I'm turning it into life-giving coffee, and the coffee turns my hand into a drawing machine and it produces more drawings. When I get caffeinated, gotta draw. Gotta draw. So thank you so much, Crow ME. Can't wait to turn that into coffee. And I'll think about you while I drink it. I'll think about you a lot. Long, hard, and deep is what I'm gonna think about. I'm gonna think a lot about the words long, hard, and deep and Crow ME. And there's nothing weird about that. There's nothing strange about that. That wasn't a poor choice of words. That's totally normal. It's totally normal to associate those things with Crow ME and their $5 donation, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna feel ashamed about it. I don't care what you say, I don't care what you think, and I don't care what you're assuming about the way that I'm thinking and the way that I'm dealing with that donation. I'm doing what I want, and I'm doing what's right for me and Crow ME. This is between me and Crow ME. It's consensual. So you've got nothing to do with it. Leave us be, me and Crow ME. It's that simple. I don't want to fight about it anymore. I thought you got banned from all the local cafes. Luckily for me, I live in a neighborhood with huge small business turnover. They can't close and reopen these things fast enough for me to keep up. There's always a new one for me to go into and outrage. There's always a new one. There's always some unsuspecting cafe that's like, oh, welcome, hello. We just opened, thank you for coming. I'm like, I got something to show you. This doesn't really seem like the right context to show me something. Shh. You see, I'm on YouTube. And sometimes I get donations. And you're going to come to understand a lot about that pretty soon. Can I just have a latte? Small sizes, fine. Yeah, just normal milk. Normal milk's good. Let's put this guy's spacesuit on. Why is he medieval Steven today? It's Halloween. It's Halloween, baby. It's the perfect season to be a medieval lord who reigns over a haunted seigneurial and to spread that fantasy far and wide across the internet. It's also a great time to activate your most witchy self, you know, maybe do a few curses, maybe create a few voodoo dolls, maybe make some sigils, maybe burn some things in a fire. It's also a great time to get abducted by aliens and be used as a research or crossbreeding subject. Halloween is the perfect time for all of those things. And that's why I'm wearing a medieval lord costume. And whatever you want to do, you know, you want to contemplate an eldritch being until your consciousness unifies with it and you also ascend to the astral plane and gaze yea upon secrets of a cosmic sail, go ahead. Today's the perfect time. It's the perfect time to do that. You should do that, you want to do that, and you will do that. And it's not optional, it's compulsory. So get haunted, get spooky, get freaky. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Dude, so many artists' Instagram accounts got suspended today. Oof, meta technical problems on Halloween? Kind of, that's weird. Who got suspended? I haven't caught wind of that. Am I suspended? The hammer comes for all of us at some point in our lives. I'm getting hungry, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Tummy's gurgling. But I gotta put this little guy's space suit on. I gotta put it. Ian McHugh got suspended? Ian McHugh? For what? Doesn't he normally draw like fun spaceships in the airships floating through the sky? Never seen him post like a nude or something like that. What did he get banned for? Carl Casaclang with the 125, I do not know that currency denomination, but 125 mystery we're soon about to find out currencies. If aliens get their hands on a human subject, do you think they'll be interested in drawing people after seeing how beautiful our anatomy is? Carl, I would say it's guaranteed. I would say that as soon as a gray alien from Sagittarius B star sees what I've got going on right underneath the pectoral line, they're going to be fascinated. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're going to be obsessed when they see what's going on from the nipples on down. You know, that's why I don't, that's why the camera cuts off right here on stream. If what was going on right underneath these nips was visible on the internet, we wouldn't be getting anything done. There certainly wouldn't be any drawing going on this stream. And I can say with full confidence that this will also apply to conscious biological alien beings from another star system. I can say with 100% certainty that no matter their physical, mental, or spiritual makeup, they will react exactly the same way that anybody else would react. And that amounts to complete obsession, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They'll be drawing it, not just drawing, we're talking a renaissance for them. We're talking statues. We're talking whole forges. 3D printers that can recreate what's going on, nips down on an atomic scale. If they just got one glance at what's going on here. And that's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Again, I just want to say that's guaranteed. Thanks for the donation, Carl. Philippine peso. Now I know. It's the Filipino peso. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 125 Filipino pesos. Steven, you are my absolute favorite streamer. Also, I fell on my head as a kid a lot. It's all adding up. Everything's adding up. No mysteries here. We got to do our skin type bodysuit for our alien friend here. Going to get rid of a lot of our nice anatomy work, but who cares? Steven, have you been to any countries besides America? Yeah. Been to South America. Oh, well, not continents, but yeah, where have I been? Canada, Colombia, Italy, France. Been to Amsterdam. Been to the UAE. I was in Dubai. Japan. Been to Japan. I think that's everything. Yeah, Colombia, Canada, France, Italy, Amsterdam, which is a city, I know, but the Netherlands. Japan, the UAE. And I got a lot of places on the hit list. Oh, that's not good. I want to follow the curve of that pec. Damn it, I needed to be doing that on another layer. Ooh, but then I get the double multiply problem. Just gotta get it right the first time. Stephen, question. What do you think about this concept of creating shadow areas without details with light areas with details versus the opposite? Works both ways. You usually do want one to dominate over the other, but it should work. It should be possible to do both ways. It just depends. Think of it like a photograph. There's photographs that are exposed to show detail in the lights. There's photographs that are exposed to show detail in the shadows. Either one works. And there's photos that are exposed to do both. Neither is by its own virtues better or anything like that. Carl with another 125 Filipino pesos. Thank you so much, Carl. Oh God, I just thought of something. Steven, sir, have you ever considered playing Gartic with viewers? Happy Halloween, by the way. Happy Halloween, Carl. I don't know what Gartic is. I have to admit, I don't know what it is. I'm assuming that's some sort of stream game. But the problem is that everybody on this stream is incredibly serious. Like, they don't want to play any games with me. They want to draw. You got to remember that. Very serious people around here, you know. Online drawing game, I see. I will have to investigate. Is it like Pictionary or something like that? I don't know. I'll look into it later. You know, I'm terrible at Pictionary. I think most artists will probably have had that experience where people are like, wow, you must be great at Pictionary. I want you on my Pictionary team. And it's like, you know, when you've got 30 seconds, I draw the same stick figure as anybody else. Esdras Munoz with $5 para café. Thank you so much, Esdras. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to turn it into coffee. You'd better believe it. I can promise you that. Thank you, Esdras. You're very, very kind. Who knows, with all these donations coming in, maybe I'll turn it into a large coffee. Maybe I'll turn it into a flavored coffee. Instead of doing my normal plain latte, maybe I'll get a little caramel in there or something like that. You never know. You never know. I'm crazy. I'm unpredictable. You got no idea what's coming from me. You're all very kind. I appreciate the donations. I hope that your drawing goes excellent today. Be free, be happy, be cheerful. Draw, draw, draw. Draw, Antonio, and don't waste time. Get that venti. Get that venti. I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks, so my local coffee shops will just call it a large. But I'm telling you, new and exciting possibilities are opening up for us. And the horror of the poor baristas, they got no idea what's coming. They got no idea. They'll be running to their managers in the back. Sir, we need help. There's a man in a medieval doublet here, and he's drinking the caramel syrup straight from the faucet, straight from the tap. We can't get him to stop. He's lashing out at us with sporks every time that we try to get his mouth off the tip. Sir, we need help. There's a man out here eating cups of coffee whole. I mean, he's eating the cups. He's not just drinking the coffee, he's eating the cup. And the insulating sleeve. My God, send help. Call the police. All right, let's work on this guy's face a little bit. Now that we've got his suit on him. I should also get a timer stopwatch. It's going to be our rite of passage for Zapataism. You really should. A stopwatch has done as much good for me as any other drawing tool. Any like actual drawing tool, like pencil, stuff like that. Stopwatch beats them all. It teaches you so much about how you work. It's very, very important. I'd recommend it for everybody. And for the love of God, get a real one. I've got a real one. I keep it on my desk. If you just use a tab, you're going to forget about it. You're going to close your internet browser and lose the time. It's like you need one that just sits on your desk and has a big start-stop button. It's the way to go. By the way, when's the shirtless hot tub stream coming you wanted to do? First things first, got to get a hot tub. the neck muscles. That platysma, though. Always got to get a nice platysma. Always a fan of those platysmatic striations. Whoops, that's a text tool. Don't need that. Hi, Steven. How's your day so far? Eugene, it's fantastic. I mean, it's Halloween. I'm in my medieval lord outfit. It's the most haunted of days. Everything's going very well. I'm dreaming of a spooky alien. With every alien that I draw. Thank you. And may all your gray aliens be from Sagittarius A star. Thank you so much. And may all your spooky aliens be muscular. I'm dreaming, Lady Gaga, ladies and gentlemen, of a white alien. Sounded just like Lady Gaga. Just gonna tell you right now, it sounded just like Lady Gaga. .606 says, I'm listening to music in the background and you got perfectly in tune with it. Oh man, I wish I could have been hearing that from your side. Because from where I'm at, I was not perfectly in tune with anything. Is that a Matador jacket? No, it's a medieval style doublet. But man, I should get a Matador jacket. I gotta put that on the costume wish list. Actually, as a streamer, I probably shouldn't have a costume wish list, right? Because people think I do something different. What is that alien's name? His name is Schlurglegsleertseerfer, and he comes from Solantipur. But yeah, that's his name. Makey says, so Steven, I got a serious art question for you now. Ooh. Serious. My mentor says that starting drawing later in life and not when you were younger only gives you disadvantages. Would you agree? Only in the narrowest sense. And I do mean narrowest. Like, that really gives priority to the just the raw virtuosic quality of how easily or well you draw. But the truth is that there's so much else going on with art that it's very close-minded to think that that should be priority number one. I know many, many people who are great at drawing, but they can't make it their job, even though they really wish they could, because they don't know how to market themselves, or they don't know how to do things that are relevant, or They don't know how to build interest or hype or to market at particular audiences and things like that. Raw virtuosic skill is not the end-all be-all when it comes to art. So if we're imagining two people with identical lives, which is really the only context in which an evaluation like this makes any sense, if we imagine two people with identical lives who over days, years, months draw otherwise the same amount, right? Then yeah, the person who started younger is going to have more mileage and they would be better at drawing. But that's just not everything in art. It's there's so much to be gained from, probably more to be gained from knowing how to go towards an audience, knowing how to market yourself, knowing how to be a business person, knowing how to make relevant things. There's tons of amazing artists who will toil forever in obscurity because they just don't know how to connect with people, you know? Modern Day James says, of course I come in and you talk shit about me. Did I? I missed it. I forget what I said. What'd I call you? I don't doubt that I was making fun of you, but honestly, you're so unimportant to me that it's like it had already slipped my mind, so. Oh, I gotta stretch. Oh, it's good. Let me poke at his face a little bit more. I'm gonna run soon because we've been going on, we're coming up on 2 hours, 45 minutes, and I'm getting very hungry. I'm getting hungry for that lunch. But I will stay on for a bit longer if anyone has more questions or anything like that. I like his little baby teeth. Are you planning on taking a job as in for animation industry or something? I've been working as an artist for about 11 years now. Something like that, somewhere over a decade. I do freelance and things like that. But these days I like doing my own thing. I like being on YouTube. I like running classes. I like making drawing courses. Spent a long time in the industries. I think I'll do this for a bit longer. So long as I'm drawing, I'm happy. James, if you're still here, we got to get on the phone soon. Just want to chat with you, catch up. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I've just been so busy. I will explain on that call. Down to chat tomorrow? All right. All right, all right, all right. Carl says, it's been great to watch you stream again, Steven. Looks like lunchtime there, sleepy time here. Good night, Carl. Yes, lunch is, my body is insisting on lunch, but my hand is insisting on creating soft transitions of form. I hope that honoring the aliens with these drawings today, with these sketches, will keep them from abducting me tonight on the scariest of all days. I made proper hecatombs to the worthy gods. Now may their wrath pass over me. I'll fucking junkie says, hello, Steven. How do I approach drawing stuff I find hard to draw? I'm doing this series of drawings for college, and I'm taking this mindset of just seeing what comes out, whether it's good or bad. I think that's a good one. I think that'll work. I mean, drawing is to some extent always problem solving. So the number one thing to do is to continue attempting it. You need to not get caught up behind a wall of fear or psyching yourself out thinking about, oh, this thing is so hard to draw, this thing is so hard to draw. Remember, no matter what the thing is, spaceship, human body, animals, hardware, architecture, perspective, whatever it is, when it comes right down to it, it's just shapes. It's just two-dimensional shapes that you're going to configure in an optical illusion on paper or screen or whatever. So there's nothing to actually be afraid of there. Continue making attempts so you can find the happy accidents and you can find the actual pain points and the areas that you may actually be getting good traction on, and problem solve. Just make it as practical as possible. As you encounter a particular problem in drawing this particular thing or whatever, just write it down. Have a note sheet where you just write, shapes don't look interesting. Values don't seem right. Textures seem off. And then in between your drawing sessions, just troubleshoot. Just read the problems that are on the list and look up tutorials, look up books about that particular topic, and just piece together the solution one little practicable bit at a time. How hard would you say is it to translate drawing skill to animation? I don't know. I would ask James that. Ask modern day James. I'm not an animator, so I'm not going to talk out of my ass on that one. I've done very little animation in my day. All right. I think that's good to go for now. Let's flip this back around. We honored the aliens today. We honored them. All right, let's see what's up as we close out here. Jack Foster says, Happy Halloween, Stephen. Love the jacket. Drawing snub-nosed hounds today. Nice. Thank you so much. And happy Halloween to you, Jack Foster. Boop, boop, boo. The forms on that torso, goddamn. Glad you like it, Matt. Drawing hands today since I haven't in a while. Thank you so thank you, Zapara. No problem, Batsbug. Good luck with your hands. Kit Werfil says, enough good drawing tips. Give us your worst drawing advice you can muster. Just trace photos. I mean, you don't, it's all there. Just trace them. Do literally nothing else. Just trace them. What's the problem? It's all there. Photo looks just like real life. Why wouldn't you? Just trace it. Steven, do you have a favorite thing to draw? Yeah, I mean, anatomy, male anatomy is my favorite thing, Iron Penguin. Love to do muscles. Very inspired by the old masters, that art. The classic lineage of depicting anatomy well with gesture and rendering. It's just like, it always stayed with me. It's my favorite thing. And being able to make it up, being able to weave a body out of your head is so much fun. Vorak says, did you know a UFO report is coming out today due to the Office of Director of National Intelligence? No, but now I'm scared. I gotta look into that. Oh God. Oh God. No, it's all right. It's all right. There's nothing to forget. Oh God. It's fine. That thing's gonna, it doesn't matter. 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 It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Okay, cool. I'm not even gonna look it up. Not even gonna look it up. Not even gonna look it up. This is ridiculous. Vorak, please. I'm not even gonna look that up. Okay. Okay. We're all right. We're all right. Great aliens. Thank you, Zelafay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Trying to animate without knowledge, without knowing how to draw, on the other hand. That's brutal. Yeah, I bet it is, Alex. Sounds about right to me. Tree Watcher says, just by your influence, I found myself drawing mostly demons and monsters' heads. Should I try to draw things that are somehow closer to me? Just draw what excites you at the moment. That's always the right thing to do. There will be days that what's in your head excites you. There will be days that what's out in the world excites you. There will be days that the art of others excite you. There will be days that photography excites you. I think just day to day, whatever gives you the charge, whatever makes you excited to draw, I think that's always a valid thing to jump in on and do some work on. Clayton, what's up? I never would have guessed that Clayton would have the handle Andrew Griffith. Good to hear from you, Clayton. Where can I find your fiction or writings? I don't have it anywhere. I've written a bunch of stuff, but none of it is out online. Well, that's not true. There's a couple very short things in an old video way at the beginning of the channel called World Tree in 3 Readings. I think it's what it's called. There's, I think in there's 2 bits of writing. I do a reading of them. Just random things that I had done that were on the docket lately. I should start doing more of that on the channel, but definitely I got to make more time to write. I've always enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the $5, Clayton. I really appreciate it. You're the best, man. Thank you. Hervet's Creative Corner says, do you practice grounding activities aside from walking, aside from drawing? I just thought about walking as a grounding activity. I do walk. I love going on walks. I also meditate. Those are my main, walking, running, meditating are my main grounding activities. There's nothing better than a good run. I'm going to take a run right after this stream. Actually, I'm going to eat lunch and then go for a run, which is always a great idea. Always a great idea. It's always fun to just vomit in the middle of a run. When is the next stream, Steven? Wednesday. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hamza says, so next time, let's draw female anatomy. Never! I'll never do it. Never. It's possible. Statistically speaking, unlikely. Gumroad teases your writings as soon to come. When did I, depends what I was referencing in that Gumroad. Can't even remember right now. James says, just start playing hockey with me. You'll be grounded mentally and physically. Yeah, I imagine I would be grounded quite quickly. I'm going to take a hockey stick to the face real quick. Are you going to wear the outfit while running? Please do. Of course. It's Halloween. Can't go out not in costume. All right, everybody. It's time for me to go. We're just about at 3 hours here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks for watching the drawing. And most importantly, thank you for drawing. I mean, the world needs creativity in this day and age. These are insane times. Most importantly, you need creativity. You've got to get if you have the urge to draw, if you have the urge to be creative, you've got to do it. If you don't do it, you'll become creatively constipated, and that will ruin your soul, as far as I can tell. So you need to draw. It will make you feel better, and that will, of course, contribute to a better world for everybody. I think that it does a lot of good for our hearts to connect with our desire to be creative. So if anybody out there doesn't get it, screw them. It's not about them. Do your drawing. Get your drawing in, be creative, connect with your primordial self that is always interested in creating new things and manifesting what you feel inside. Just go for it and have fun and be peaceful while you do it. Don't put a lot of expectations on it. There's plenty of time for expectations, ambitions, and requirements later. Make sure to take a few minutes out of your day to just enjoy it for its own goddamn sake. It's all right. It's all right to do that. Saman says, when is next stream, Steven? Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Now I exercise, eat some food, and then I've got feedback for the course to do. I was out of town, so I'm all backed up on feedback. Got a lot of feedback to get through. So I'm going to go do that now. And let me see, what else? We got some cool stuff coming up for the channel. You guys will see some cool stuff in hopefully next week, I would say. And I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody. And happy Halloween. Keep it spooky.